Welcome to Yoga with Jade. Today's class, we'll experience some strength and flexibility through our yoga practice. So go ahead and start seated, sitting tall. Tune into the breath. Start to lengthen the breath. And you can tune into the sounds around you, sounds that are near, and sounds that are farther away. Then inhale, lift the heart, we'll twist to the right. Right hand come behind you, left hand over to your knee. Getting a little taller with inhale, twist deeper, exhale. And then inhale back to center, twisting to the left. Left hand behind you, feel the heart get taller, the shoulders stay down away from the ears. Each inhale you get taller, exhale takes you deeper, breathing into the low belly. And then inhale, come back to center. Right palm to the ground to the outer hip, left arm comes up along the ear, palm will face the floor. Drop the right shoulder down away from the ear, spin the chest toward the sky. And let your head get heavy here, so you feel your right ear drop toward the right shoulder. Left arm comes out to the side, let the palm face the floor, spread the fingers wide, soften the jaw, soften the root of the tongue. And then inhale, coming up and over to the other side. Right arm comes along the ear, left shoulder down away from the ear. Press down through the sit bones, spin your chest toward the sky, and then take your right arm out to the side, allowing your head just to become very heavy over that left shoulder. And then inhale, coming up. Let's come onto all fours for some cat-cow movement. So curl your toes under. When you inhale, you can look up and lift the sit bones up. Belly will drop. Exhale, round the spine, look toward your navel. So this is as much for the body and the spine as it is for the eyes. So inhale, look up toward that space between the brow. And then exhale, look down toward the belly button. Inhale, look up, sit bones lift. And then exhale, round the spine, follow the breath to the end. Inhale, look up. Exhale, look down. Inhale, look up, sit bones lift. And then exhale, round the spine, look down. So let's come to a neutral spine, so flat back. We'll take the right leg back behind, inhale, and then exhale, knee to nose. Inhale so that right knee is bent, you're reaching the toes to the sky, and then exhale, rounding the spine, knee to nose. Inhale, look up, exhale, look down. Inhale, look up, and then take your left hand back. So if you can grab that foot, it's okay if you don't. Just try. If you do grab the foot, lift the foot a little higher and kick the foot back. Staying here just a few breaths. And then now you can extend the left arm in front of you, the right leg straight back. You're going for lift and length. The arm is strong, the leg is strong. Take your left palm down. We're going to come into a modified side plank. So your right leg will stay lifted, your right arm comes up and along the ear. Inhale, and then exhale, bring elbow to knee. Inhale, extend, get long. Exhale, crunch in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, round in, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. Get really long, inhale. Exhale, get really small. Inhale, lengthen. And then see if you can reach your hand back and grab your foot behind you. If you are able to grab your foot, kick your foot back. You can drop your head back a little so it's like a back bend. Remember, it's okay if you don't grab your foot. And come back to center, hands and knees. We'll change sides. So go ahead and lift the left leg up. Inhale, exhale, round the spine. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Look up as you inhale. And then grab your back foot. See if you can get your foot higher. Kick your foot back. Extend your leg long, extend your right arm long. A little balance feeling here, using your core muscles. And then take your right hand down, that modified side plank. So your left arm comes up, extend your left leg long. Your left arm comes along the ear. Take an inhale so you're getting really long through both the arm and the leg. And then exhale, get small elbow to knee. Inhale, stretch it out. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And then see if you can take your left hand back behind you to grab a hold of that foot. Push your foot back into your hands. You can feel your head drop back. And then come back to center, hands and knees. Let's come up to downward facing dog. And so you can have your feet about 6 inches apart, wrap your shoulders down toward the armpits. And let's take our right leg up into down dog hip opener. You can bend that right knee so your heel comes toward your sit bones. The knee lifts up toward the sky. Keep pressing into the palms. Let your chest come toward your left toes. And just be with your breath, lengthening that breath. Take an inhale and go ahead and step that right foot forward in between the hands. The left knee comes down, arms come up. Let the palms face each other, but keep the shoulders soft, coming down away from the ears. And dropping the tailbone. And then hands come to the floor. We'll come into half split, so straighten up the front leg. Let your chest come forward. Maybe bow your head towards your leg. And then we'll come back into down dog hip opener. So that right leg comes back once again. And then downward dog. Left leg comes up. Same thing, down dog hip opener. So you can start out with your 3-leg dog and then bend your left knee so the heel comes back toward the sit bones. Keep pressing through the palms. Allow your right heel to press toward the mat. And then bring your left foot in between the hands. Drop the back knee down and take your arms up along the ears. You're in your low lunge. If you need anything under that knee, you can either fold your mat or grab one of your blankets or a small pillow just so that your knees feel comfortable here. And then straighten up your left leg, folding over that so we're in half split. See if you can keep flexing the toes back toward the shin. Keep your shoulders away from the ears, the chest drawing forward. And then we'll come back into downward dog. Walk your feet forward. And take 2 fists between the feet, hanging here for a few breaths. Letting your head get heavy. Rocking the weight from the heels toward the toes. And then flat back, inhale. Exhale and fold. Let's roll all the way up to mountain pose. And so just allowing your arms to sweep up. And hold on to the left wrist, side bend over to the right. And then inhale up to center, change the grip, holding onto the right wrist, side bend over to the left. And then inhale, come to center, interlace the fingers behind you. Feel the chest lift. You might look up. And then bend the knees and start to fold forward. So you might keep your knees bent. You might straighten the legs. Lengthening the breath. And then inhale, flat back. Exhale, step back into plank pose. Inhale, tap the knees down. And then exhale, start to lower down halfway. Inhale, point the toes, lift the heart in cobra. And then downward facing dog. Spread your fingers wide, wrap the shoulders down toward the armpits, firming the upper arms and firming up the thighs. Draw the low belly in. And then look forward, inhale, walk forward, exhale. Halfway lift, breathe in, and then fold, breathe out. Come all the way up to mountain pose. Arms come out and up, inhale. Bend the knees, swan dive, fold forward. Flat back, inhale. And plank pose, exhale. Inhale, tap the knees down. Exhale, lower halfway. Point the toes, lift the heart. Inhale. Downward facing dog. Also set your eyes at one point in between the calves. Continue to lengthen the breath. And then look forward, inhale, walk forward, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale, and then fold, exhale. Come all the way up, mountain pose. So with mountain pose, your legs are strong, your heart is lifted. Take your arms out and up, inhale. Swan dive, bend the knees, fold forward. Flat back, breathe in. And plank pose, exhale. So here we're going to roll onto the outer edge of the left foot. Take your right arm high. So this is side plank. If you need to take your left knee down for support, that's also good. You can do that. But get your hips up. Feel the body strong. And then take your right hand down. We'll take it over to the other side. So rolling onto the outer edge of the right foot. Left hand high. Shine your chest up toward the sky. Feel your tailbone lengthen toward the heels. Notice your hips press toward the sky. And we'll come back to plank pose. And tap the knees down, inhale. Lower down halfway, exhale. Point the toes, firm the upper thighs. Let the heart lift. Keep your shoulders away from the ears. Downward facing dog. So each down dog, we usually stay here for about 5 breaths. If you would rather have child's pose, You can rest in child's pose or really any other shape that you're comfortable in. You can even come down and do a few cat-cows instead. Inhale, let's look forward and then walk forward. Exhale. Halfway lift, breathe in. And then fold, breathe out. Let's come all the way up. Inhale, mountain pose. You feel those shoulders roll up, back, and down. Thighs are firm, feet together. Chair pose, inhale. And then standing back to mountain pose. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, mountain pose. Inhale, chair pose. You can get a little deeper. And then mountain pose. Chair pose, inhale as deep as you can. And then fold forward. Exhale. Flat back, breathe in. Plank pose, exhale. Tap the knees down, inhale, lower down, exhale. Point the toes, lift the heart, inhale. Downward facing dog. Right leg lifts high, inhale, you're coming into that down dog hip opener. Pressing down through the left heel, right knee gets higher. And then step your right foot forward in between the hands. Your back heel stays over the toes. We're coming to crescent high lunge. Front knee is bent, stacking over the heel of the front foot, and then the arms come up along the ears. Soft shoulders. And then exhale, come back down to plank pose. Inhale, tap the knees down. Exhale, lower down. Heart lift, breathe in. Downward facing dog. Left leg lifts high into that down dog hip opener. Remember to anchor down, right heel, left knee points up toward the sky a little bit higher. And then bring knee to chest, step your left foot between the hands, and rise up crescent high lunge. There's a lot of balance in this posture. Your back heel stacks high up over the ball of the foot. Arms lengthen up along the ears, but no tension in the shoulders or the neck. Taking tension out of the practice. Just bringing strength in. Step back to plank pose. Tap the knees down, inhale, and then lower down, exhale. Heart lifts, inhale, shoulders away from ears. Downward facing dog, exhale. So just take this time. Let the head drop. Listen to the sound of your breath. Look forward, inhale. Step forward, exhale. Flat back, breathe in and fold. Chair pose, inhale. Mountain pose, exhale. Chair pose, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Flat back, breathe in. Plank pose, breathe out. Tap the knees down, inhale, lower down, exhale. Heart lifts, inhale. Downward facing dog. Right leg lifts, hip opener. And then knee to nose. nose, round the spine, step the foot between the hands, coming to crescent high lunge once again. And then dip the back knee down, inhale, rise up, dip it down and up, down and up, down and up, down and up. Come back to plank pose. Tap the knees down, inhale, lower down, exhale. Point the toes, heart lifts, downward dog. Left leg lifts into hip opener. Knee to nose, round the spine, let the foot come between the hands, and then rise up, crescent high lunge. Take an inhale, exhale, dip the back knee down. Inhale, lets you rise, exhale, lets you dip down. Inhale, exhale. Lift it up, dip it down, lift it up, dip it down to hover here, up, and then come to plank pose. Inhale, tap the knees down, lower down, heart lifts, downward facing dog. So if you need child's pose or any other pose, feel free to do what your body needs today. Look forward, inhale, walk forward, exhale, so feet together, halfway lift, breathe in, fold, breathe out. Chair pose, inhale, and mountain pose, exhale. So your thighs are firm. Heart lifts. Inhale, arms up, sit back to chair, fold, exhale. Flat back, inhale. Plank pose, exhale. Tap the knees down, inhale, lower down, exhale. Heart lifts, inhale. Downward facing dog. Right leg lifts up, down dog, hip opener. And exhale, step your right foot between the hands. Rise up, crescent high lunge. Hands to prayer will twist to the right, so your left elbow comes over the right thigh. You can have your hands in prayer, or you might take your left hand into a fist with your right palm resting over the fist. Right elbow points toward the sky. Inhale, coming back. Arms sweep up, and then open out, warrior two. So your right knee comes forward toward the pinky toe. Take your right fingertips high, reverse warrior, and then exhale, extended side angle. So your right elbow to your thigh, left arm along the ear, turn the chest toward the sky. And then let's step back, plank pose. Tap the knees, inhale, lower down, exhale. Heart lifts, breathe in. Downward dog, exhale. Left leg will lift up, hip opener. And then round the spine, step your left foot between the hands, rise up, crescent high lunge. And then we'll twist to the left. So your right elbow comes to your thigh. You might have your hands in prayer. We're trying to lengthen the spine, so keep bending that front knee forward, lengthening the back leg, drawing the low belly in toward the spine. Inhale, back up, crescent high lunge, and then open out to warrior two. I'll flip the left palm, fingertips high, reverse warrior. Keep bending that left knee. And then extended side angle. We'll take the left elbow over the thigh, right arm along the ear. And then come back to plank pose. Tap the knees down, inhale. Lower down, exhale. Heart lifts, breathe in. Downward facing dog. And so those arms are strong, the legs are strong. The belly draws in toward the spine. And no matter what your shape is here, the mind tunes into the breath, lengthening the breath and keeping the breath in and out of the nose. Look forward, inhale, and then walk forward, exhale. Flat back, breathe in, fold, breathe out. Chair pose, inhale, mountain pose, exhale. So we'll do some standing balance here. Just make sure that whatever you're standing on is level, and that if you need a chair by you or a wall by your side, just to give yourself some extra support, you find that space that you need. We'll take the right knee up, interlace the fingers around the shin. Firm up the left leg, so the kneecap lifts, the glutes strong. And then option here is to stay there holding the knee, or you can cross your right ankle over your left thigh and bend the knees, reaching the sit bones back and the heart forward. Hands come to prayer. This is a standing figure 4. And then inhale, coming back up, hands to the shin. Left hand might reach to the outer edge of your right foot. These are all optional here. It's okay if you come in and out of the pose and you wobble a little. You might extend the foot long and take your right arm out behind you. Take a few breaths. And then we'll change sides, coming back to mountain. Then we'll draw the left shin up into the hands, strengthening the right leg. Kneecap lifts, glutes strong, getting taller. Crossing left ankle over right thigh, reaching those sit bones back and the heart forward, hands to prayer. Play around with how deep you drop those hips. You're in control here. And then inhale, when you're ready, you just rise up, shin comes into the hands. See if you can take your right hand to the outer edge of your left foot. You might even keep your right hand on your knee, your left knee, and just reach your left hand out behind you. Standing twist. Take a few breaths, and then release back to mountain. When you're ready, arms will sweep up, and then you can fold forward. Flat back, breathe in. Step back to low lunge with your right knee back, and then arms come up. Hands come to the mat, step to plank pose, knees down, inhale, lower down, exhale. Heart lifts, breathe in. Downward dog, breathe out. Right foot will step forward, low lunge, so your back knee is down, arms come up. Soft shoulders. And then step your back foot forward and fold. All the way up, inhale. Swan dive, fold forward. Exhale. Flat back, breathe in. Left leg back, knee down. Arms up. Plank pose. Inhale. Knees down, lower down, exhale. Heart lifts, breathe in. Downward dog, breathe out. Left foot will step forward, bring your back knee down, arms sweep up. Hands to the mat, we'll step the back foot forward and fold. Come all the way up, inhale, into mountain pose, exhale. Arms sweep up, inhale. Bend the knees, swan dive, fold forward, exhale. Flat back, breathe in. Right leg comes back, knee down, arms up, inhale. Take a side bend, hold on to the right wrist and side bend to the left. Inhale, coming up to center, and then take your hands to prayer and twist to the left. Drawing the navel toward the spine. Inhaling, arms up. And then exhale, hands to the floor, to the inside of the foot. Curl the back toes, lift the knee, and we're rotating into half squat. So your left knee stays bent, but your right leg is long. See if you can point your right toes to the sky. Your hands might stay on the ground. You might have your hands in prayer. And you might even decide to stay there or come into a bind where the left arm wraps in front of the shin, the right arm comes behind the back. You can bind the fingertips. And then release hands to the ground. Have a seat all the way. We'll take the left arm up and along the ear, reaching for the toes. Right hand might even hold on to the left ankle. It's a deep stretch, so go only as far as is comfortable. Don't push. Inhale, coming back to plank pose, lowering down, exhale. Heart lifts, inhale. Downward dog, exhale. Right foot will step forward, back knee down, arms up. So you can hold to the left wrist, side bend to the right. And then hands to prayer. We'll twist to the right. Notice all of the sensation within the body. Inhale, arms up. Hands to the floor, to the inside of the foot, rotating to the left. So now your right knee is bent, your left leg is long, left toes point to the sky. You can lower down. You might take your right arm in front of the shin. Wrap your left arm behind you. Roll your chest toward the sky. And then you can release, take your hands to the ground. Have a seat all the way. All right, so your left hand can hold on to the front of your right ankle. Right arm comes up along the ear, lengthening toward the foot. It's okay if the hand is far away from the foot. That's pretty normal. If you're pretty flexible, you might even be able to grab the foot. If you are able to grab the foot, point the toes. Turning the chest toward the sky. Inhale, coming up, rotating toward the front of the mat, step back to plank. Tap the knees down, inhale, lower down, exhale. Heart lifts, inhale, downward dog, exhale. You can feel the chest press toward the toes, the head get heavier toward the mat. Look forward, inhale, walk forward, exhale. Come all the way up, inhale, arms come up. And then swan dive, fold forward, exhale. Flat back, breathe in. And then left leg comes back, knee down, arms sweep up. On the exhale, you'll begin to slide your hips back and have a seat. So that means your right leg straightens and you're sitting to the inside of the left foot if you can. Now, if this doesn't feel right on your knee, you can skip that pose. And if this is okay, you just reach forward for your foot and fold forward. Try to keep that chest level, drawing your chest forward, but keep the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, lift up. And so here we'll take the right foot into the hand. See if you can take that foot high up to the thigh so the heel touches the flesh of the belly. And if that doesn't work, you can easily just take that foot, the sole of the right foot, to the inner thigh. You might be able to wrap your right hand around and grab your toes. Otherwise, if you don't grab your toes, just take your right hand behind you. Left hand comes to the outside of the right knee. Heart lifts, inhale, you get taller, and then exhale deeper into the twist. Breathe into that belly. And then inhale, see if you can take a hold of the right foot, extend that foot out, hold onto the outer edge of that foot with your left hand. Right hand reaches behind you. So you're pressing through the heel of the right foot, getting taller through the crown of the head. And then inhale, come back to center, and then begin to crawl forward. Step back to plank pose. Tap the knees down, inhale, lower down, exhale. Peel the chest up, inhale. And then downward dog, exhale. Left foot will step forward, back knee down. Let your arms come up. And then you'll slide those hips back, have a seat. So the right foot is just to the outside of the right hip, left leg is long, flex your toes back. Notice if you need to sit onto a blanket. And then fold forward, exhale. So you're reaching for the leg or the foot, trying to level out the shoulders. And then inhale, lift the heart. So here we'll take the left foot up on top of the right thigh if you can. So you're trying to bring the heel up to the flesh of the belly and seeing if that's accessible to you. That's half lotus, half hero. And then you can take your left arm behind you. You might be able to grab those toes or the foot and twist to the left. So your right arm comes to the outside of the knee. Remember your other option, your left foot can come to the inner right thigh. So just heart lifts, breathing in. Exhale, twisting deeper. Rooting down through your center, rising up. Shoulders staying down. And then coming back to center, grabbing a hold of the outer edge of the left foot with your right hand, extend through the heel. Take your left arm behind you. So as you extend, you also root down through the sit bones, lengthen up through the top of the head. And then come back to center. Start to crawl forward and step back to plank pose. Tap the knees down, inhale, lower down, exhale. Heart lifts, inhale. Downward dog, exhale. And then have a seat. So begin to kneel down. Take your knees together and your feet apart and sit between the ankles if you can. You can sit on a blanket or a pillow. That will help make it a little softer. Hands can be on your feet. Let your heart lift. Inhale, just tune inward. And then coming up, let's curl the toes under and let the sit bones rest over the back of the heels. Just a toe stretch. And then come up, sit bones lift away from the heels, take your hands to your low back, drop the tailbone down, feel your heart lift, the shoulders roll back, press the hips forward, and you might be able to reach back the hands to the heels. For camel pose, if your neck is okay, you can drop the head back, otherwise keep the chin tucked toward the chest. Hips continue to press forward, chest continues to lift up. And then hands come to the low back. Help yourself up. Uncurl the toes. Have a seat so that you're kneeling. And we'll come into that pose again. Come up onto the knees, curl the toes under. Hands come to the low back, so your fingertips are pointing up towards your shoulder blades if you can. Drop the tailbone, let the heart lift. Hips press forward. You might stay here, or you can maybe take your hands to your heels. Lifting the chest each time, so inhaling, lifting the chest. Staying with the breath. Hands come to the low back. Help yourself up, and then have a seat. So we will take a little twist here to the right. Feel your heart lifting. And then come back to center, twist to the left, little gentle twists. And then come back to center, come onto all fours. We'll slide the left leg back, keep the right knee coming toward the right wrist for half pigeon pose, the resting pigeon. So you're just curling the left toes back, walking the foot as far back as you can, and then resting your forehead heavy over your hands. If your hips are really high up away from the ground, slide a pillow or a folded blanket under that hip for support. Head gets very heavy here. And then heart will lift up, inhale. Bend your left knee, reach your left arm back, see if you can grab a hold of that foot. Spin your chest forward. And then bring your right elbow down to the ground, rest your head down. So if this feels okay for your knee, you can stay here. If this isn't feeling right for you, then skip this and just stay in the previous posture. The deep quad stretch, you want to feel this in the meat of the muscle, the center of the upper thigh. Inhale, come on up. And you might be able to wiggle those back toes into the inner crease of the elbow. And take the right arm up. If you feel good here, you maybe bend that right elbow, the hand comes back and interlaces fingers with the left hand. Keep lifting the chest up. And then release. We'll swing our left leg all the way around into half lotus pose. So that left foot comes to the upper thigh. If that feels okay, you can stay there. Otherwise, just regular crisscross legs. And take your twist to the left. Left hand wraps around behind you. You might grab a hold of those left toes. Right arm crosses over to your left knee. And let's release this. So from here, right leg comes all the way back, as far back as you can. You're coming into that half pigeon pose. Rest your forehead down. And take any tension that you feel in the upper shoulders or the neck. Feel it dissolve. And then inhale, begin to lift up. Bend your right knee, reach your right hand back. See if you can grab a hold of the foot. It's okay if you don't. And then you can take your left forearm to the ground and bow your head towards your arm. So skipping this if you feel any sharpness in the knee, just resting in the previous shape once again. Otherwise, if this feels okay, softening around the sensation. And then inhale, see if you come up. Maybe you might be able to hook those toes into the crease of the inner elbow. Left arm reaches up, inhale, and then bind your fingers behind you. And release. Swinging right leg forward so that you can come into seated half lotus pose. The posture here comes into a twist as you wrap your right arm behind you. You can hold on to the right toes. Left arm crosses over to the right knee. Or you can sit in simple cross-leg pose and simply take a twist. Heart will lift up, inhale, breathing into the belly. Deepening the twist with the exhale. And then we'll release. And so go ahead and extend both legs straight ahead. Flex your toes back toward your shins. Take an inhale and then fold forward, exhale. And grab a hold of the shins or maybe grab a hold of the feet. Feel that you're pressing the back of the knees down toward the ground. You're drawing the chest forward, but keeping those shoulders drawing away from the ears. Inhale, lift up. And then exhale, recline all the way back. When you come all the way to your back, you can take the soles of the feet together and the knees apart. Walk your shoulders away from the ears. Lengthen the skull away from the tailbone. Tune into the sensation within the body. If this is too intense, we can reverse the legs, so take the feet apart as wide as the mat and let the knees drop in and rest upon one another. So either variation here, you just want to be restful. Noticing the rise of the belly with the inhale and that contraction, that inward sensation with the exhale. change your shape if you wish to. You might wish to stay here, but this is our final pose where you can come into your Shavasana. Shavasana should be a shape where you feel restful. You're able to soften the body completely and stay present with the breath. But also to allow whatever is necessary to arise. You can place your focus upon what arises without attachment, without aversion, just noticing. Feel free to remain here as long as you'd like. And come back to the sound of your breath. You can wiggle your fingers and toes. You can begin to draw your knees up into your chest. And then help yourself all the way up. Take a comfortable seat where your spine is tall. Close your eyes. Noticing the breath. Bringing to mind 3 things that you can be filled with gratitude that you experienced just from today alone. And take another deep breath in and clear it out. Take our hands to prayer, bow the forehead. Namaste.